Hi, you will be surprised that I am doing this video for the third time. कभी morbidity को mortality बोल गया, कभी disability में किसी की definition ही भूल गया. It's a tough subject. Anyhow, let us start. So last time we did mortality indicators. We also tried to do a question, a numerical, what I call it numerical, on mortality indicators. I'll request that you should do it, because many times we feel that we can do it. We think that it is nothing special, but when we start doing it, then we find problems. So please do it. As far as I remember, the question was, the population, total population was 10,000, total death in a year 1,000, malaria cases were 500, and deaths due to malaria were 100. So crude mortality rate or crude death rate will be 1000 divided by 10,000 into 1,000. That is our multiplication factor. So total deaths 1000, total population. In these questions, sometimes you need not go for mid-year population. When they give questions, you don't, even if they give you, unless and until there's a lot of time is there, and the population means mid-year population. Take it for that. So 1000 divided by 10,000, that is total population, into multiplication factor. It will come to 100 per 1000. Many students do not write the unit. The correct answer is 100 per 1000 population per year. Sometimes we just calculate 100 and leave it at that. The second is malaria specific mortality rate. Malaria deaths were 100, total deaths were 1000. So, sorry, we have gone wrong again. We are going for malaria specific mortality rate. So we have to total number of deaths because of malaria, that is 100, divided by total population, total mid-year population, into multiplication factor. So 100 divided by 10,000 into 1,000. So whatever it will come to 10 or 1, whatever it is, that is your problem. The next is proportional mortality rate. Proportional mortality rate is deaths due to malaria, that is 100, total deaths. And whenever we use the word proportion, we multiply it by 100. So proportion at undergraduate level is 100 in percentages. And case fatality rate because of malaria, malaria deaths 100 divided by total number of cases of malaria, that is 500. So 100 divided by 500 into multiplication factor, that is 100. So that will come to 20. So 20% is the case fatality rate of malaria in our example. This is a very simple question. When you will get question in NEET or next, they will give you additional data to confuse us. They may give number of female, number of males, various other diseases to confuse us. So unless and until we are very clear about what is what, we will not be able to answer the question. The next, now today we'll move on to morbidity indicators, and later on we will study a portion of disability indicators. Morbidity means disease, so things are easy. It is the incidence of a disease. It is the prevalence of the disease. Incidence, you must remember, new cases. Prevalence is new plus old cases, that is the total cases. And then other indicators which are indirectly or directly telling about the morbidity, like hospital admission rate, OPD rates, absenteeism in the schools or in the occupational areas, that is industries. They are all notification rates. They are all telling us about the morbidity. And I like to clarify one thing, that expectation of life has been considered a mortality indicator. And because it does not look like a mortality indicator, so some people have started calling it a positive mortality indicator. Now I'll come to disability. Disability has been described in our textbook, but I have made it much simpler. We will study disability in two heads, or we will calculate disability under two heads. The one is how severe is the disability, and second is what is the duration of the disability. So duration of the disability is simple. If I am disabled because of paraplegia for 10 years, so I am more disabled than a person who is disabled because of osteoarthritis right knee for 10 years, because the severity of disability is varying. The second is severity of disability. That has been, I classify or I measure it under four headings. The first is bed disability. Bed disability means the person is totally in the bed. A person admitted in the hospital should be or is considered as a totally bed dependent, or he is bed disability. So if I am admitted in a hospital for 10 days, 10 days is my bed disability. The second is the limitation of activities of daily living, ADL. We have identified 6 activities of daily living. For example, feeding myself is one activity. Toilet, going to washroom or using washroom is second activity. So whether I am able to do or not do these activities will quantify my disability. The third is limitation of major activity. Major activity means I am not bed disabled, I am doing my activities of daily living, but I am not going to my job, or a child is not attending her school. So this is limitation of major activity. The fourth one is the best. We have actually quantified, mathematically quantified disabilities. For example, I am just giving an example that paraplegia may be quantified as 0.9, and say a pain in my neck may be quantified as 0.01 or 0.05. So depending upon the disability and depending on the data obtained from patients and doctors and various healthcare workers, we have actually quantified the disabilities. This quantification we will study further when we will discuss disability adjusted life years. Disability adjusted life years is a very, very important concept which is most popular, and it is so important that I will be studying it under a separate session. Now, what are the indicators of disability? There are various indicators. Park has given, I think, 3-4, but I will just mention one. That is Sullivan's index. Sullivan's index is nothing but disability-free life expectancy. There is more to it. So there is more to Sullivan's index, but for us, it is just disability-free life expectancy. If my life expectancy at birth is 64 years, and out of which it is expected that I will suffer from disability for a period of 2 years, then my disability-free life expectancy is 62 years. There is another disability indicator, that is years lost to disability, YLD, which we will again discuss under disability adjusted life years. So I am stopping here, and my next session will be disability adjusted, DALI, disability adjusted life years. Thank you.